How is the human spirit truly created? The answer may change everything. The Messiah revealed us. The spiritual being, in truth, as I have already told you, is formed of soul, spirit, and perispirit. From the divine bosom, it emerges as if it were a spark of his essence. And this spark, being of the same essence as its source, is the non-individualized intelligent principle of creation, which contains the inner germ. This is our soul. At the very instant of its emergence, it is enveloped by a higher energy, the perispirit, and from their union results the spirit, the intelligent personality of creation. Thus, the spiritual being has been formed. When the Messiah tells us, the spiritual being, he is revealing how our spiritual nature is constituted. He is telling us that all human beings within infinite creation are constituted in the same way. Human bodies are taken on by spiritual beings, guided by a being of light into the womb of a mother, having come forth from the divine bosom of the Creator, in order to begin their spiritual perfection in the material worlds of creation, where the laws of incarnation establish the use of physical bodies as instruments of learning and manifestation. And when he says, in truth, we must understand that he expresses this affirmation with the fullness that flows only from God, all truth. Only in his love is truth found. Few truths are eternal, and these are found only in God. As was already stated in Universal Religion 08, we are all equal by virtue of our origin. He made us feel that just as we were formed as spiritual beings, so too, in times past, the Messiah emerged from the same divine bosom as we did. All of us are born fulfilling the divine laws of incarnation and discarnation in material worlds such as Earth. We all follow a path of progress toward our spiritual perfection, supported by the divine likeness of our soul with God as the non-individualized intelligent principle of creation, which, being of the same essence as the Father, is transcendent and eternal. And when he tells us non-individualized, he reveals that no one is separated from the absolute love of God, that all remain eternally united with their Creator within the infinite creation. Let us remember that in Universal Religion 05, the Messiah said, the dependence of the human spirit upon the spiritual nature of the soul is the foundation of God's eternal thought, to transform creatures into the object of his love. This dependence occurs when the spirit consciously withdraws from the dominance of its human nature and listens to the wisdom of the Creator's love, which guides it through the soul through the intelligent principle. It is then that we become the object of his love. The Messiah explains more deeply our emergence from God, from the creative spiritual source, by expressing it as a spark. By using the word spark, he draws upon images already present in our minds, such as the light produced when a bulb is turned on, or the flame of a lit match. He uses human words, but fills them with divine force. This divine spark is of the same essence as its source. He clarifies that the very essence of God constitutes our divine spark. And here, we may use our spiritual understanding to realize that whatever we think we know is still very limited. When we contemplate the vastness of creation, the immensity of the heavens, we begin to understand that the knowledge of God is infinite. And we can reason that all the wisdom of the Creator exists in potential within this divine spark, which is our soul, because it is of his very essence. When he reveals that it is the intelligent principle of creation, he explains that everything is filled, completely permeated with this intelligent energy of the Creator. It is the total and supreme wisdom that knows everything, how every particle that has emerged from the creative spiritual source moves, manifests, and fulfills divine decrees, the divine laws of creation. If this message resonates with your heart, and you wish to continue exploring these spiritual teachings, we invite you to subscribe, and join this channel, so that together, we may continue growing in the light of love. When it is said, not a single hair falls from a head without God knowing it, it means that even that event obeys an intelligent principle. The divine energy that governs all is wise, perfect, and in complete harmony with everything around it, moving in unity with the infinite motion of creation, fulfilling divine decrees. This tells us that all divine knowledge exists within our divine spark in potential to be developed through the law of evolution and progress, which, as an intelligent principle, drives everything created toward the perfection for which it was manifested. This law, which arises from the law of love, will eternally guide our soul and our spirit so that they may reach perfection in a gradual, constant, ascending manner, through all the fields of spiritual experience that the spiritual being must pass through on its path to perfection. And when he tells us that it contains the inner germ of the soul, he again uses human language filled with divine meaning. The word germ refers to a seed, an embryo, the origin of life in the vegetal kingdom, as in seeds that grow into trees, or in the human being, the embryo formed within the mother during pregnancy. In the same way, within our soul is kept this inner germ, which contains all divine essence, divine presence, love, law, life, intelligence, feeling, wisdom, unity, order, balance, harmony, strength, and movement, every divine energy necessary to fulfill the divine purpose. This inner germ contains, in potential, all the infinite attributes of the Creator, which, through the law of individual freedom and guided by the law of evolution and progress, the being must develop from within its divine essence in order to reach full likeness with God in divine unity, in universal brotherhood, in the religion of God. And he assures us that upon emerging, it is enveloped by a higher energy, the Perispirit. Another divine energy that exists at that moment to surround the soul completely. And the Messiah concludes, from whose union results the Spirit. With the word results, he explains that just as chemical substances combine to produce a result, so too the union of the Perispirit and the divine spark produces the Spirit, the intelligent personality of creation. This intelligent personality, born from that union, is our human personality, the Spirit. And since it has just been created, all its spiritual records are empty. There is no knowledge. And since all knowledge is light energy within spiritual memory, we can say that the Spirit exists in total darkness. It knows nothing. It is in absolute ignorance. It is ready to acquire knowledge, guided by its being of light, its tutor in the name of the absolute love of God, who leads it according to the law of evolution and progress, preparing each stage and guiding the spiritual being to incarnate in the womb of a mother, to take on a physical body and begin recording experiences and knowledge through the impulses and instincts of physical life. Thus, through each life, it develops, exercising the law of individual freedom. In this way, we have all emerged from the creative spiritual source. All beings of infinite creation have come forth in this manner. Throughout eternity beyond human measure, creation has been populated and will continue to be populated. This is nothing other than the infinite love of the Creator. And as the Messiah said in Creation 02, "Believe, then, in my word, for I speak to you through love, and love is the very essence of God Himself." Now we can finally understand that when the Messiah communicates these revelations through human words, he does so united with his soul, so that it is the inner germ of the soul, the intelligent principle of creation, that speaks as the very essence of God. At that moment, the Messiah becomes an instrument of God. He expresses God, he explains Him. For by making his spirit dependent upon his soul, all his energy is placed at the service of God. He becomes the object of his love. May love guide your path, strengthen your soul, and bring you closer to the divine light.